All right, we've got our first speaker to bring up to the stage. We are very excited. Micheal Burt is a renowned coach, and we are so excited to have him here with us, elevating you in your business with a wonderful conversation about how to activate you and your team's Pray Drive. Are we ready to give Micheal Burt an incredible Exit Selfies welcome? Put your hands together.
Thank you. Good morning. Man, this is the earliest I've seen real estate agents up in a long time, right? Would you give yourself a hand for getting up and getting going this morning? She was like, did you have a good time last night? I'm like, I hope they didn't have too good a time so they can't get coached this morning, right? Listen, my name is Coach Micheal Burt. I believe everybody needs a good coach in their life. I've spent a decade of my life as a championship women's basketball coach at the second largest high school in Tennessee. And moms and dads would bring their daughters to me at 14 years old, and they all said the same thing. They said, Coach, my daughter's got a lot of potential. I think somebody said drama or issues, right? Or attitude. But they typically would say to me, Coach, my daughter's got a lot of potential, which is an idea of kinetic energy that is stored until utilized. It is an idea that we'll be better today than we were yesterday. An idea that we'll be better tomorrow than we are today. I am right now coaching an 81-year-old, two 78-year-olds, two 74-year-olds, and a 71-year-old. And they are all, give them a hand, because that is impressive. And they all said the same thing to me, Coach. I still got one more good swing in me, man. I got potential. This idea I can be better today than I was yesterday. This idea of kinetic energy that is sitting until utilized. It is there until activated. I want you to remember that word activated. Because the book I'm going to talk about today is my 17th book. And it's about how to activate something deep inside of you for you to get up every day and want to go get it. Most of you know how to go sell real estate, right or wrong? You know what to do. If you've been doing it a long time, I've been doing this 30 years, Kenny. 30 years I've been coaching people since I was 15 years old. I still wake up just like you do, by the way. Sometimes tired, sometimes frustrated. I rolled over one morning at 5:30 in the morning. I looked at my wife and I said, man, I just don't know if I can do this today. I've been in 14 different cities in 7 different days, and man, I just don't know if I can do it. And my beautiful wife rolled over and she looked at me and she said, then watch one of your videos. I'm like, what? But here's the funny thing. I did watch one of my videos, and guess what happened? I motivated my own self. So when the parents would come to me and they would say, Coach, my daughter has a lot of potential. She just needs something. What do you think they said she needed? Discipline, which is a derivative of the word disciple, which means to give yourself to a person or cause you believe in. Do you believe in your own future? And if you do, where does it live? That's right. Your future lives in your imagination. I can't see your future. The only person that can see your future is you. My wife can't see my future. My mama can't see my future. My kids can't see my future. The only person that can see my future is me. At the end of the day, I'm ultimately responsible. That means able to respond to go create that future. So they would say my daughter has a lot of potential. She just needs, and then they would give me all of these things she needed. Discipline, accountability, structure, focus. Here's a big one, confidence, which is the memory of success. And I would say thank you for bringing your daughter to the greatness factory, where we are going to manufacture her greatness. How many of you believe a real estate brokerage could be a greatness factory, where you are taking people from all walks of life, all backgrounds, and you are manufacturing their greatness? And I would say to the mom and dad, I got one simple question for you. And I say, this is a very simple question, but I got to ask you. They say, Coach, you could ask me anything. And I'd say, is your daughter watching you reach your potential? See how quiet it gets in? And they go, oh, Coach. Like, I didn't know you were going to be coaching me. And I'm like, I will run your little butt around the parking lot just like I run theirs. Because is it not true, is it not hypocritical for me to tell my 2 kids, I have a 14-month-old son and a 9-year-old daughter, is it not hypocritical for me to tell my kids they have potential if they're not seeing me reach mine? See, I can't look my 9-year-old in the eye when I put her off to school in the morning and say, hey, girl, go get it. Go push. Go drive. Go reach your dreams. I put my 9-year-old in the car every morning, and I look at her and I say, sweetheart, we're going to do something big today. And she looks back at me and she says, big, Daddy. See, that is potential. Something has activated inside of a person. We're going to call that today flip the switch. How do I flip the switch in you and activate a hunger in you? How many of you had a hunger at one point but lost it? Yeah, we all have at some point, right or wrong. See, never underestimate the need to activate this drive every single day. If you're leading, if you're a leader here, you have agents that work with you, never underestimate the need to re-enthuse your people to go into battle every single day. Not every now and then, not once a month, every single day. See, I was raised in a small town in Tennessee by a single mother who had me when she was 16 years old. My dad, growing up, my dad never hugged me. He never told me he loved me. He never come to a baseball game. It was me and my mama. And mama was tough. And mama taught me we don't whine, we don't complain, we don't make excuses. We show up, we grow up, and we deliver. And she put that into me, and she wouldn't let me miss a day of school growing up. And I hated it. I'm like, Mama, my friends get to miss school. Why can't I miss school? She said, no, sir. We don't whine, we don't complain, we don't make excuses. Wouldn't that be a good real estate model every day? Yes or no? We don't whine, we don't complain, we don't make excuses. We dress up, we show up, we grow up, we deliver. And for years I hated that until I was about 40 years old. I had been working really, really hard for a period of 3 or 4 weeks, and I picked up the phone and I called my mom. I said, Mom, I want to thank you for teaching me how to always show up every day. When everybody else wants to start with good intention and then fall off the wagon, it's the real estate agent that does what? Has a good month, allows himself to get a little too what? Comfortable. Right? I had one real estate agent once say, Coach, let me tell you my strategy. See what you think about the strategy. I have a real good month, then I get kind of lazy, and I go to the lake, and I kind of goof off for a month, and then I get real mad. And then I come back the next month, and I go back to prospect, and I have another good month. He's like, what do you think about my strategy? And I'm like, that is the dumbest strategy I have ever heard. You have a good month. Listen, when you have a good month, just like I used to tell my basketball players, when you start building momentum, you keep pushing, right? You keep building. Momentum is energy headed in a direction, folks. When you start having momentum, you don't let your foot off the gas. When you have the best month you've ever had, what do next month? You push harder. You expand effort. So Mama taught me all of these things. So I went on to be a head coach very early in life. Come off this stage so I can see you. Can you guys bring the lights up just a little bit? So Mama taught me early in life to show up, grow up, and deliver. So when I became a basketball coach, I said, man, I want to teach every player I have certain principles of success. So imagine your 14-year-old daughter playing for me, and I was teaching her the 7 habits of highly effective people at 14. The principles of good to great. The 5 dysfunctions of teams. The 5 disciplines of a learning organization. Imagine your daughter playing for me, and after 4 years, you know what she was? A little stone cold killing machine. But here's the deal. I was growing the whole person. So if you're taking notes, I want you to understand this. Great real estate agents go to work on the whole person. It's the body, that's physical. That's physical. That represents skill. The amount of money you're making right now is in direct proportion to your skills. Money doesn't buy you freedom. Skills buys you freedom. I have coached real estate agents that are doing 48 deals a year for 10 or 15 years of their life that are now doing 300 deals a year. You know what got better? The skill. Body represents skill. Second part, mind, represents knowledge. If you are trying to go from A to B, an exercise I want to show you in a minute, A is your current position. B is your ideal outcome. There is something keeping you from going from A to B. It could be your skills. It could be your knowledge. It could be your, what we're going to refer to as pre-drive, P-R-E-Y-D-R-I-V-E, your drive. Or it could be your confidence. One of those 4 things is keeping you from going from A to B, folks. Right? So at 25 years old, I'm coaching my little team. I'm starting to win championships. And I sat down and I wrote a book, best thing I ever did, 25 years old, called Changing Lives Through Coaching. Now, we don't sell that book today because it really wasn't that good. Fair enough? You may be able to find it on eBay somewhere, but 25, I didn't have a whole lot to say. Fair enough? But at least I got started. And at 25 years old, I write this book and I start to get phone calls from business people like you guys, Stacy and Kenny, and real estate people and mortgage people and insurance people. And here's the funny thing they would say, Coach, I got a lot of good people. And they got a lot, no issues and drama. And I can't get them to prospect, and I can't get them to show up consistently, and I can't get them to follow up 7 times, and I can't get them to engage. And so when you come over and motivate our people, what's the word motivate mean? To move. The word inspire means to breathe life into. I will go over and speak for an hour, and then I go back to my basketball team because I love those kids. And I set out to win a championship. And that's what I told my boss when I took the job at 22 years old. I'm not leaving until we win a championship. 10 years. 80 hours a week. Used to work 8 hours a day on Sunday. I get up and go to church on Sunday morning, go straight to my office and work. That was my life for 10 years to fulfill a promise I made to my boss, which is I'm going to bring a championship to this school. That is long obedience in the same direction. I didn't start and quit. I didn't start and fall off the wagon. I stuck the course. Remember those lessons Mama gave me? We see something through to its conclusion. So I go down and speak at Dell Computers at 25 years old, a big company in Nashville, and I get finished speaking, and they say, hey, this is good. You come back. I said, no, thank you, sir. I love coaching kids. I appreciate you buying my book. I appreciate you bringing me in to speak to your people. Man, I love these kids. I'm going back to these kids because I haven't won a championship yet. He said, are you sure? We really loved having you, and our people loved you. You're intense. Listen to what I'm about to tell you, and positive. So most people get real intense, get real negative. He said, you are intense and positive, and our people really liked you. Will you come back? And I said, no, sir, thank you for the invite, but I got to go back to these kids, man. I love these kids. And we kind of went back and forth for a minute. And I'm walking out the door, and he said, sir, come on back just for a second. And he reached in his pocket, and he pulled out an envelope, and in that envelope was a check. And he said, fair enough, if you don't want to come back. And then he handed me that check. I opened up that check, and I looked at it, and it was more in an hour than I made in a month. What do you think I said then? I said, surely somebody else will come along and love them kids as much as I do. Like, I love them. I love them kids. But somebody else will love them too. Now, here's the truth. The truth is I stayed 6 more years until I did what I said I was going to do, which is win a championship. And I did love those kids. 31 years old, I retired in 08. And if you remember 08, if you're in real estate, everybody go remember that? So I started my business in the middle of the 08 recession. I don't know if I was real smart or real dumb. But guess what? A lot of people needed a coach in 08. So the biggest home builders started to hire me and said, we can't sell houses. And the biggest real estate people started to hire me and say, hey, we need to go out there and get it. And I watched and I learned and I remember something that I'll never forget. And I want you to remember this. No matter how good times are, there comes a time when winter asks what you did all spring and summer. And winter's always coming. We go to bed tired and we wake up hungry. Everybody hear that? These good times may last for the next 4 years, folks. When you see statistics on what's going on in the real estate market, it doesn't appear that anything's going to change anytime soon. But here's the deal. I don't ever count on those things, right? Because as a basketball coach, I win on Tuesday night, get a little bit comfortable on Wednesday, not practice hard on Thursday, then I get beat on Friday night. And that was embarrassing. What did I learn in 08? We go to bed tired and we wake up hungry. Here's my best one. It all goes to 0 at midnight. It's going to be a fight, but we're going to find a way to win. Everybody hear these concepts? I prospect every day as if I'm dead broke. I prospect 2 hours a day, every day, as if I got nothing. Because I'm never going to allow myself to get complacent. Prey drive is an instinct to get up and go get it. It is an instinct to see something with the eyes. P-R-E-Y-D-R-I-V-E, prey drive. How many of you have a dog? How many of you have a sweet little dog that you say, this dog would never hurt anybody? No matter how sweet that dog is, that dog's prey drive is activated, you would not want to be alone in the room with that dog. So I'm sitting at a boot camp with my wife, getting coached, just like you are today. I'm in there with a Vietnam veteran of the Vietnam War who is teaching the course. How many former military people do we have today? Thank you very much for your service. Thank you. And I'm sitting there, and this is his job. He's in the War Dog Division of the Vietnam War. So he wakes up every morning in the middle of a jungle, and he goes out ahead of the infantry with a dog. The dog's job is to sniff out bombs, booby traps, ambushes. Any day you think this is hard selling real estate, I want you to think about waking up in the middle of a jungle like that. I want you to think about it. I want you to think about the opportunity you have right now through the vehicle you're in to have a great life, provide for your family, help people in the purchase of one of the biggest things they'll ever do in their life. I want you to think about that opportunity. I want you to think about him in that jungle every single morning, waking up, not knowing if today was going to be his last day or not, because if he stepped in the wrong place, his life's over. And he kept talking about the dog having a prey drive. And I'm sitting there going, prey drive, prey drive. I've never really heard this term. So I Google it. Prey drive is an animal's ability to stalk, capture, and kill prey. And I have a huge revelation. I elbowed my wife and I said, humans have a prey drive. It is their ability to see something with the eyes, optically, or in the mind, in their imagination, and their persistence and intensity to pursue it. You see, my wife did drugs every single day from 21 to 24 years old. I did not know her during that period of her life. I was coaching basketball, working 80 hours a week. She was a little country girl from West Tennessee, raised in a Christian home, but her parents never pushed her. They never challenged her. She never had any coaching. She didn't have the same type of mom pushing her like I did. Discipline, structure, focus. So my wife comes to Middle Tennessee, and she goes to Middle Tennessee State University. She goes for a little bit, and she drops out. She starts hanging around all kinds of shady people. They're doing all kinds of shady things, and she's doing hardcore drugs every day for 3 years. And then one day she quits. Just one day out of the blue, stops, just quits, which is almost unheard of. She was selling cell phones for Verizon Wireless, which she hated. She had no dreams, no goals, no purpose, no clear ambition of what she was going to do with her life. And at 30 years old, her company paid $50 for her to come to one of my workshops on a book I wrote called This Ain't No Practice Life. She sat in the back of the workshop. She paid intense attention to what I was saying. She would take notes like crazy. And when the workshop was over, she walked straight up to me and she said, "Look, I need to meet with you." And she was really pretty, so I'm like, "Sure, step over here. I'm available right now." She's like, "No, sir. I'm coming back 2 weeks from today after I've read this book." Here's what she said to me. "I have never read a self-help book before. Nobody's ever talked to me about my potential. Nobody's ever said I have dreams. Nobody has ever said you can do something big with your life." She said, "You're the first person who has ever spoken any of these words into my life." And she went and read the book. She came back 2 weeks later. The book was highlighted. The pages were ripped out. She's like, "I've always wanted to help people in hospitality. I've always wanted to take care of people. I've always wanted to," right? I said, "I'm going to help you start a catering company. You're going to cook and take care of people and do events." Fast forward to today, my wife is now writing her own books. She's in Florida right now. We're about to do a couples retreat for 20 couples on how to get in alignment, do big things together. She is now coaching women. She's now designing all of the real estate we own around the country. She is now the mother of 2 beautiful children. What happened to her? Her prey drive was activated. The switch was flipped inside of her because of exposure. Now, anytime she's on me or pushing me or we're arguing about something, I happen to remind her, "Sweetheart, you only paid $50 for the workshop. Like, you didn't pay $5,000. What kind of husband are you expecting to get?" And sometimes she reminds me, "I ain't paying you to coach me." And I'm like, All right, fair enough. Now, I want you to think about this driving you. What if I told you 7 out of 10 people I meet have not activated this drive? Kenny, you've seen a lot of people in your life. Would you say that's true? Those 2 people I know got a lot of great drive, those 2 right there. That's why I liked them the first time I met them. Big dreams, big goals, big push, big confidence. Like gravitate toward like. Would you agree? Association breeds assimilation. Prey drive is an instinct. Now, in the animal, because I do a lot of research when I write these books, I missed something the first time I was researching. And this is what I try to convince my salespeople. The reward is not capturing the prey. Look what it says about the animal. In the animal, there is no greater motivation than the mere ability to pursue the prey. Tammy, is that right? See, the night I won a championship, after 10 years, you know what I did? There was nowhere to celebrate, got a big gold ball. I went to Steak and Shake. And I set that gold ball down at the table at Steak and Shake at midnight. People come up to me and say, what's that? I said, I just won a championship. The next morning, you know what I was thinking about? How can I win the next one? 10 years, total focus for 10 years to do one thing. Once I did it, I'm like, all right, what's next? I was just with Kevin Elko yesterday doing an event. That's Nick Saban's psychologist at the University of Alabama. He has been Saban's psychologist for 20 years. We're having lunch, phone rings. I said, Coach, I got to take it. It's Nick. Nick Saban's calling me. How do we get our team ready this weekend? Right? Coming off a loss to Texas A&M. What do we say? So they go, I listened to this conversation between one of the greatest performance psychologists ever, 30 championship rings, and one of the greatest college football coaches of all time, and I'm listening to him talk about how do we get better? How do we talk to the kids this week? How do we keep them focused on the next play? And he's coaching him. This is a guy making $8 million a year, and he's getting coached about how to get better. Who's coaching you right now? And I told my team after that, I said, man, I'm going to tell you what I'm so fascinated, how these guys are so serious on getting better. How they work to get better. Just one play, that's prey drive. So for you, getting the deal is not the fun part. What's the fun part? Getting going and getting it every day, man. See, what I tell my people is you ain't doing this for me. You're doing this for you and your family and your kids. You ain't selling for me. Prey drive is, thank goodness we get to get it today. I woke up this morning, the first thing I listen to every morning is Travis Tritt. It's a great day to be alive. How can you be upset when you listen to that song? Right or wrong? It's a great day to be alive, man. That's the first thing I do every single day, man. You know what? I'm grateful to get up and go get it today. To pursue my potential. The ability to pursue, that's where the fun is. So when you're thinking about this, if I were coaching you, this is one of the first things I make people do. You are currently at A in your life. A is your current position. Everything you don't like. Every frustration you have. B is your ideal outcome. B is where you are trying to go. So when I'm coaching people, I ask them a simple question. What are you trying to do? Well, I'm trying to double my real estate business. I'm trying to build a team. I'm trying to make $10 million. I'm trying to get my passive income greater than my living expenses. Isn't that a great question to ask people when you're selling? What are you trying to do? Trying to get out of the house I'm in and get into the house I want. What are you trying to do? See, once I know what you're trying to do, Sharon Lecter taught me this. She wrote Rich Dad Poor Dad with Kids Like It. And I'm sitting at dinner one night with her in Phoenix, Arizona, and she said to me, I got a real simple question to ask you. Coach Burt, what are you trying to do? I said, man, I'm trying to be internationally known. I'm trying to write best-selling books. I'm trying to be America's coach. That's what I'm trying. I'm trying to build greatness factories. I'm trying to build success schools for kids. She said, okay, now that I know what you're trying to do, now I know how I can help you. And then she said this, if anybody tries to tell you what to do, before they ask you what you are trying to do, they are just trying to sell you something. Isn't that good? So when I'm on the phone with people, I ask them a simple question. What are you trying to do? What is your B? Now, here's the beauty. Once you tell me your B, now you're in trouble. Now I know. And anytime you get sidetracked, anytime you get distracted, which means to pull apart, anytime you get involved in some kind of drama you shouldn't be involved in, anytime you get involved in low-value activity, anytime you were doing things that don't move you toward that B as a coach, here's what I say, what are you doing? You told me you wanted to double your real estate business. Why are you getting involved in this drama? You told me you wanted to do this. Why are you messing around with these little things? You told me you wanted to go big time. Why are you playing so small? See, once I know your B, now I can hold you accountable to that B. Right? Accountable to, it ain't my dreams. It's your dreams. I have somebody coaching me. You know what they do? What are you doing in relationship to what you're supposed to be doing, coach? You told me you wanted to do this. Now help me understand why you're doing this. A to B. A to B. Now here's the beauty of this. This is the subconscious mind. I have done this exercise 64 times in the last 30 days. Anytime I'm on a plane, I pull out my little remarkable notepad or my iPad and I go A to B. A is my current position. B is where I want to go. And I write it up over and over and over. Now, why do I do that? Because I am telling my brain, this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. My brain works for me. I don't work for it. Okay? I'm telling it what to do. Now, you start thinking, why do I become complacent? How many of you have ever become complacent at some point in your life? Now, there's a big difference between being lazy. Lazy people are lazy. Elko would say that they have been lazy for so long that the synapses in their brain have wired together and they don't know any other way other than to be lazy. Hard workers have worked so hard for so long, their brain synapses have actually wired together like a barbed wire around it, and they don't know any other way than to do it like this. My wife would say, you don't even know how to relax. And I said, Dr. Elko told us why. Because I've been going so hard for so long, I don't know any other way, folks. That's just the way I do it. I get up and I go chop wood and carry water, and I prospect 2 hours a day, every day. I do. And I own the company. I follow up 7 to 15 touches. I make outbound effort every single day. Why? Because I go to bed tired and I wake up hungry. I never allow myself to become complacent, which is a gradual settling to a place of mediocrity. Anybody send their kids off to school in the morning? Last thing you do before you get them off to school is say this, hey, here's what I want you to do, kid. I want you to go to school and gradually settle to a place of mediocrity. Anybody say that to their kids? Then why would we do it? Here's what the psychology tells me. Satisfied needs never motivate people. Only unsatisfied needs. Satisfied needs never motivate. Why does the person become complacent when they get to X number of real estate deals? Because here's the deal. You got a good life, you got a good house, you got good kids. You're probably living better than you've ever lived. Now it's like what? Now I just start to become comfortable. See, tell me what part pray drive is associated with comfort. Tell me what part reaching your potential is in alignment with I'm just going to take the easy route and be comfortable today. Nobody wakes up and says, I want to prospect 2 hours a day. Nobody. Right or wrong? But we have to act our way into feeling, not feel our way into acting. Amateurs listen to their feelings. Professionals do not listen to their feelings. You think those football players on Sunday want to get hit that hard? You think Journey really wants to sing Don't Stop Believing Again? You see, I have probably given this talk 300 times. And the book's not even out yet. I don't listen to my feelings because my feelings lead me wrong. I act my way into feelings. I hired a Marine to be my personal trainer for a year. And he had 5 business guys like me would show up at 5 a.m. in the morning, would show up in the morning, and he'd say, good morning, ladies. We'd all be struggling in here. And when I go to the gym, when people watch my videos, people come up to the gym like, come on, Coach Burt, activate that pray drive. I'm like, you need to get away from me right now. You think I'll wake up and my pray drive activated? You think I'm like those videos every second of every day? I'm just like you. I'm tired. I'm worn out. 5 a.m. in the morning. Frustrated. I'm mad at that dude for yelling at me. But that dude always said something I want to say to you, and I don't want you to ever forget it. He said, it's time for you to get your mind ready for what your body is about to do. And you ain't going to like it. But when I'm done, you're going to be thankful that we did it. The pure satisfaction of knowing you gave everything you could every day. My granddad worked every day on the farm in Tennessee, became a single-digit millionaire. And I used to go see my granddad. And I loved seeing my granddad because he gave me lessons. He was an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs sometimes takes low-level resources to higher levels of productivity. They convert liabilities to assets. That's an entrepreneur. So my granddad was always hustling. He sold things and owned a cabinet shop and built houses. Man, I'd go to his house and he'd say, son, it's out there. You just got to reach for it. As long as you got to want to, okay? As long as you got to have to, you can find a want to. As long as you got to want to, you can find a have to. So he'd give me all these little lessons. And man, I loved going to his house because he got up and he went and got it every day. And then he decided to retire. And my mother, who was a nurse, called me one day and she said, son, you know what? It's almost as everything in your granddad's life went downhill the day after he retired. His mind went downhill. His body went downhill. I want you to think about this. I asked my mom, because she worked in nursing homes most of her life, I said, in the people's life, outside of natural causes, why do people die? She said 3 reasons. Number 1, they run out of money. Because they run out of money, they run out of good care. See, you should be building. There comes a time when winter asks what you did all spring and summer. Everybody with me? The reason you're going out helping people, solving problems, selling houses, so you can build some excess cash, and take that excess cash so you have some money for later. Everybody with me? She said, number 1, they run out of money. She said, number 2, they run out of love. Nobody comes to see them. Nobody cares about them. Nobody loves them other than the nurses and the other residents. She said, but the real reason that they pass away is they run out of purpose. Joe Paterno, the head coach at Penn State, was walking gassers every day, walking 25 miles a day, running gassers with his linemen. They fired him at Penn State. He was dead in less than 6 months. He ran out of purpose. See, there's a whole bigger picture here, folks, from A to B than just selling houses. You gotta get in there and understand. The reason I'm here with you today, the reason I flew in at midnight last night was to be here today because this is what I'm supposed to be doing on planet Earth. This is how I'm supposed to be using my talents to help you find folks. Even people I don't know. That's why I'm spending time away from my family, to help you, because that's my purpose. I'm on point. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. It's easy to get excited when you do what you're supposed to be doing, folks. It's hard to get excited when you run out of purpose. So when you think about what you're doing, this is really what I show people. Why should we be interested in this? Why should we be interested in activating this prey drive in us? For this reason, this is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I learned this in elementary school, I remember, but I wasn't paying much attention to it. Basically, Maslow said that for you, our ultimate goal should be self-actualization, which means getting to the highest level of our potential. But to do that, look at everything that's got to happen, man. Your psychological needs have to be met. You got to be in a good place. You got to have your physical needs met. You got to have all of these things in place. See, the real estate agent that shows up in the morning, frustrated, irritated, didn't sleep, not ready to go, haven't mapped out their day, hungry, there's no way you can reach your maximum potential. See, when I was listening to Saban and Elko yesterday, I was thinking, man, here are 2 dudes, 60 years old or more, just going at it, trying to reach their potential. Right? And it was the coolest moment in the world when Dr. Elko said, Coach Saban, I'm here with a guy named Coach Burt, man. He just gave me something upstairs I want to give with you this morning. I want you to use this week. So if Alabama beats Tennessee coming up, please don't blame me. All the diehard Tennessee fans. Here's the deal. How interested are you in your potential? On a scale of 1 to 10, how interested are you? When's the last time you thought about it? You know who's coming to my workshops now? My own mother. 60 years old, coming to my workshops with a notepad, sitting in the back of the room, taking notes. And I said to her, you raised two great kids, Mom. It's time for you to go reach your dreams. It's time for you to get serious about your goals. It's time for you to reach your potential. We're good. Never stop being interested in your potential. I don't care if you checked out for the last 10 years. Never stop being interested in taking your deal to the next level. Now, when you think about it, this is the whole person. This is the whole person. And this is really kind of what separates me from a lot of coaches is I was coached by Dr. Stephen Covey. And Covey wrote the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Principle-Centered Leadership, First Things First. Best thing ever happened to me from 18 to 25 was a study under Covey. And Covey taught that people were made up of 4 parts. A body, that's physical, which represents skills. So if I'm coaching you, I'm trying to see how are your skills? How do you explain your value? How do you prospect? How do you follow up? Conversion and closing is a skill. That's the body. Then, he said, people have a mind. That represents knowledge. Do you know how to put complex deals together? Do you know how to negotiate at a high level? Do you know how to break things down that are complicated? That's the mind. Then he said people have a heart. That's passion, energy, motivation, right? And if that part is checked out, let me ask you a question. How many of you have ever had a broken heart at some point in your life? How motivated were you during that period of your life? So if I come into your exit office and I said, hey, we're going to do some sales training today, folks, on how to prospect, close people, but you're sitting there with a broken heart, let me tell you something, I'm not going to connect with you. Because when you have a broken heart, you either disengage, or you check out, or you're frustrated, or you're probably hurting other people, because hurt people hurt people. 4th piece, he says, people have a spirit that represents confidence. Confidence is the memory of success. How many of you know people that's got a lot of talent, but they don't have a lot of drive? I love when women come up to me and say, can you activate the pre-drive in my husband? Because he has so much what? No issues. Y'all got to pay attention. How many times? They told me this is a smart extra group down here. I hear it you know why I'm doing a couples retreat this week? Because a lot of spouses do have potential. And I said, man, my husband's got all the talent in the world. I just can't get him to. You said get out of bed. I just can't get him to take out the trash. I just can't get him to reach his potential. And I see so much in him. We had an insurance company call in one day and say they wanted my wife to coach all the women in their company. So we get a phone call to our office and we said, we know your wife is writing books. Will you coach the women? Well, she coached the women on our company, insurance company in St. Louis. I said, how much are you going to pay? They said $50,000. I said, she'll take it. So I go home that night and I say to my wife, I got you a coaching gig today. She's like, what? I don't coach people like you do. I don't have the same background you do. And I said, put them heels on, sister. We're going to St. Louis. We're going to St. Louis. First night, scared to death. Gets all dressed up. Looks beautiful. We get there and they say, these are the 6 women in our company who have the most problems. We're going to let you coach them. All day long, my wife just sits with these women and listens. That night, I'm going to one city, she's going to another city, and I get a text message from her. Thank you for pushing me. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for always pushing me to do things I don't think I can do. She said, I enjoyed this today, helping these women. Now, 4 months later, she came home and said, these women ain't doing one thing I told them to do. I said, welcome to my world, sweetheart. If you don't understand the whole person, folks, if you don't go to work on your whole person, you see, I go to work on my whole person every day. And you say, well, how do you do this? This is what I do by 8 a.m. every day. People always ask me about my morning routine. When I'm at home, I get up at 4:20 a.m. and I do not want to get up at 4:20. But if I get up later and I got to feed my body and work out, I know that my workout's got to be before I go to work. And I know if I work out from 6 to 7, I don't see my kids. because I'm gone while they're up, and then they go to school. So I'm going to miss my kids. So I sacrifice, and I say, you know what? I'll get up an hour earlier so I can work out at 5, so I can see my kids from 6 to 7. Because I'm on the road a lot, and I don't get to spend a lot of time with my kids when I'm on the road. So I got to sacrifice something. My sacrifice is I'm going to get up an hour earlier. So I get up at 4:05. I listen to what song? It's a great day to be alive, because it is, isn't it? On the way into the gym, I listen to something on faith, because I'm a faith-based person. So I listen typically to a 15-minute sermon. That's me. 15 minutes on the way in, I listen to something to feed my, now see what I'm doing? I'm feeding my faith. Then I work out at a gym called Rock Box. Rock Box is where you box for 20 or 30 minutes, and then you work out for 20 or 30 minutes, and they call it like Fight Club meets nightclub. So you feel like you're in a nightclub, music's going, strobe lights, woman yelling at you, I'm like, man, this is awesome. What they're trying to do is trick you into making it fun. So I box for 20 or 30 minutes, a lot of police officers in there because they're getting out aggression. We box for 20 minutes, and then we work out for 20 minutes. Then on my way home, I do a morning video. If you follow me on Facebook, Micheal Burt, I do a video every single morning. Now, let me ask you a question. How many times do you think I feel like doing a video? At 5:56 a.m., do you think I feel like doing a video? Never. But I do it. And when I'm telling you to do something, I'm really telling who? Me to do something. How to take a negative attitude, turn it into a positive attitude. The other day I had a negative attitude in the gym. It's 5 a.m. Attitude is a posture of the body represented by physical state. I got a bad attitude. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm pouting, whining, feeling sorry for myself. I look over to my left, and there's a guy with 2 prosthetic legs, working out, smiling, high-fiving people. I said, I need to get rid of that negative attitude right now. Negative to positive. You know what my video was on that morning? How do you take a negative attitude and turn it into a positive attitude? See, that was the video that morning. What I was doing was telling myself while I was telling thousands of other people. So I feed my faith, I feed my body, I go home and spend time with my kids. From 6 to 7, that feeds my what? Heart. You got things that are important to you, folks. You got passions. You got things that are important to you. I spend time with my 14-month-old son. I spend time with my 9-year-old daughter. Me and my daughter do a little 15-minute workout in the morning to get her going. Because she said, Daddy, I know you push people. I want you to push me. So we do a little 15-minute workout, push-ups, sit-ups. It's really not a workout. It's just me spending time with my daughter. And if she comes to me and says, I want to spend time with you, no matter what she says, I say, I'm in. Until she wants to jump on the trampoline. Last thing I do is I feed my mind. While I'm getting dressed, it takes me 16 minutes to get dressed in the morning, mostly the hair. While I'm getting dressed, I listen to something on business. Folks, Tammy, you do a video quite a bit, don't you? You may watch Tammy's video. I watch people in the morning for 10 or 15 minutes to get my mind ready to go into battle. All of this is before 8 a.m. When I get to my office, I meet with my team at typically 9 a.m., 15 minutes. Average attention span of a high school student is 14 minutes. Average attention span of an adult is exactly half of that, 7 minutes. Meet with my team, 14, 15 minutes. What's the purpose of that morning meeting? To activate what? That's the whole purpose, folks. It ain't to teach them everything I know about selling real estate. The purpose of the morning meeting is to get the troops ready to go into battle again today. Because yesterday they went out and got the shout knocked out of them. And they're tired and they're frustrated and the wife wouldn't speak to them and the kids won't look at them. We got to get them focused every single morning. Everybody see the power of a coach? Then from 9 to 11 we do nothing but prospect for new money. Everybody hear what I just said? From 9 to 11 we do nothing but focus on new money. The purpose of your real estate business is to produce a new customer. I have coached the top agents in the country. All of them dedicate at least 2 hours a day to prospect. During that period, you shouldn't be doing anything else except focusing on new money. The stats tell me the average person is going to buy 4 to 7 homes in their lifetime. How many of those homes would you like to get? Stats tell me that it takes 7 to 15 touches 80% of the time to convert a prospect to a buyer. How many times do you go when a person indicates interest? The stats tell me that every transaction you do in real estate should be worth 5.7 referrals over the lifetime of the customer. 98% of real estate agents never call a person back once they put them in a home. So I just want to alert you to something. If I was selling real estate, I want to help you on all 7 houses. Number 1. I want to get those 6 referrals from you. Look at how many deals I got out of one person. If I just get in there every day and tag people and touch people and engage with people. My first real estate purchase was a $119,000 condo. I was making $25,000 a year. 67% of people use the very first real estate agent that contacts them. They don't use the best one, they don't use the best looking one, they don't use the most experienced one. They use the first one. So this is a game of what? Contact, touches. The more people I know, the more contacts I have. The more contacts I have, the more contracts I'm going to write. The more hands I shake, the more money I'm going to make. Everybody see that? You don't even have to be the best, man. You just got to get up and get it every day. So guess which real estate agent I use? The very first one that contacted me. And he did a great job. Until after the sale. Now remember, I was a broke high school basketball coach in those days. Right? He would send me an email every now and then. Send me a pumpkin on Halloween. Those are nice touches. What do I really want? Just pick up the phone and connect with me, man. Care about me as a person, not Coach Burt, Micheal Burt. Just pick up the phone and say, how's it going, Coach? Man, I love working with you. Is there anything I can do? Congratulations on the birth of your daughter. Congratulations. I know she won some games. Just engage. And engage with me. Right? So because of that, I moved on to another agent. Then I went from being a broke basketball coach to having a little bit of money. Then I started buying what? Lots of real estate. Now when I see that person, he's like, I know, I'm so dumb. I'm like, that was dumb. Everybody agree? Engage, engage, engage. Now, I'm going to finish with just a few things. And then I hear you got a pretty good coach coming that actually inspired me many years ago to write my first book. When I was 25 years old, I went and spoke at a thing, and the guy in the back said to me, man, you're good, you can do this. I'm like, you think I can do this? He said, you go all around the world and speak on the circuit. And I said, what circuit? He said, like you folks. Go home and Google him and see what he was doing. And I went home, he was writing books, speaking, coaching. You know what I said? I can do that. And for hours and hours and hours, I watched video of him speaking over and over and over. And I said, I'm a coach. I need to be writing books, and I need to be going around the world helping people. Everybody see that? 25 years old. Sometimes it's just one person, man, that inspires you. One person that lights a fire. How many of you are in this room? How many of you are here today because somewhere saw the good in you when it's easy to see the bad? How many of you, somebody said, you can do this? I believe in you. 4 most powerful words you can say to another person. I believe in you. No, I can't do it. No, I can't start this. Yes, you can. I believe in you. You have something special. You can do this. At the end of every day, when I was in college, I went to college for 9 years. See, y'all thought I was slow. I did get 3 degrees. Y'all like, this old Tennessee boy takes a long time to go to college. I went to college for 9 years to get 3 degrees, and it's over 360 hours of college credit. And I don't remember 3 of my professors' names. But one woman, one day after class, came to me and said, Mr. Burt, can I walk you to your next class? I sat in the back row. I said, you want to walk me to my class? I had a hat on. I was nervous and shy. I was scared to talk to people. She said, yes, sir. She walked me to my next class. She looked at me and she said, Mr. Burt, you have a lot of potential. I see something in you. She said, how can I be a better professor to help you reach your potential? That one conversation moved me from the back of the class to the front of the class. I went from being the worst student to the best student, all because she showed some interest in me and included me. And it helped me activate my prey drive to go pursue something. So when I became a basketball coach, every single day, I would go to one of my players and I'd say, hey, after practice today, I'd like to take a walk with you. And we would go down to the football stadium, just me and them. And we would walk around that stadium and I'd say, how's your family? How's your grades? How's it going? I said, boy, I sure do see a lot of potential in you. And I would say, what can I do to be a better coach to help you reach that potential? And that would change the nature of our relationship forever. Just taking an interest in another person. The people you represent every day, they're people. They got hopes and dreams and fears and goals. The better you can connect with those people on a personal level, they are not just a transaction to you. The word transact means to discard. It means I used you, but I don't need you anymore. When you learn to go deeper, it's called agape love. You learn to connect with people in their heart, and you care about them as people. You'll sell so many houses you can't even see straight. You'll recruit so many people to your exit office you can't see straight. There'll be so many people wanting to join what you're doing, you can't even, they'll be lined up outside the door because you care about them as people. You connect to them as people. And that's what that woman taught me that day. When she took just a little bit of interest in me. So the other day I'm working out with my 9-year-old daughter and I say, sweetheart, I got a question for you. How can I be a better dad? So you can reach your potential. She said one thing. She said, Dad, just spend more time with me. My buddy Tim Grover was always on the road because he was Michael Jordan's coach. So he was away from his kids a lot. And he got ready to go on the road one night, and his daughter said to him, Daddy, do you have to go? And he said, sweetheart, that's how I make money. Is I coach Michael Jordan, and I work with him, and he travels, and I have to go with him. And this is how I put food on the table for you. And his daughter said to him, if I eat less, will you stay home more? If I eat less, Daddy, will you stay home more? Connection. I don't know why you do what you do. I don't know what activates your prey drive deep inside you. But I know there is something inside every person in here that once activated causes you to take such a big action that you will step into your potential. And that will be the greatest example you give other people. Now this is a big topic, folks. So one of the things I told Stacy I wanted to do is I'm a coach. And what I like doing is breaking down concepts. Prey drive and activating prey drive is hard for me to do in 45 minutes with you. So what I told Stacy that we would do is we're going to offer you a 4-week course of coaching with me in the month of November. It is at night. It's a Zoom. It's a 1-hour Zoom where for 4 weeks I coach you on how to activate this drive in you. And then I get into selling and closing. How does prey drive associate with prospecting and selling and closing and building your business? So there's the places you can follow me right there, and this is how you get into that course. It's real simple. It's only $97. Okay? And if you don't get better after 4 weeks with me for $97, folks, I'll give all your money back. And then I will probably tell you to get out of real estate altogether. Just joking. But it's 4 weeks with me. I'll have the recordings. You can go back and watch the replays, but I have seen in a lot of people I coach just in 1 month a 30% increase in what they're doing because I'm keeping them focused and I'm teaching them how to do it. This is the best time in the world. Kenny, would you agree? End of the year, this is when most real estate agents check out, folks. Not us. What we do when we got momentum is what? Push and finish. So 4 weeks, text that number right there. You'll get a link. When you get the link, you just register for the course. If any of you in this room want me to work with your exit office or work with your team, my guy back there in the back, Eric White, y'all say hi to Eric White. Hi, Eric, how you doing, big guy? Go back and say hi to Eric White. He'll get you into something that I can help you. Okay? Because I got to go coach 20 couples, so y'all say a prayer for me on the way out. Guys, my name's Coach Michael Burt. God bless you. Thank you so much.